Okay, so we can just step to this one. Of course, if we are in this view, like the talking point selection, and we would add a new talking point, this would look slightly different. No navigation. As you said, it's a model, so.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so here, and now I'm remembering something, we made a decision. I'm not sure if it was you and I made the decision or if my compadres on this project made the decision, but we're going to limit the number of themes, and that's why we use a drop-down menu for that. And so when I told you earlier that theme is not very descriptive, you can see why.
Yeah.
It's more of a category.
Okay, I see. Yeah. Then we decided not to just display the theme, and that's the right decision.
Yeah. So a talking point consists of a theme, some text, and the geographical place in which it applies.
Okay. So it's either the state or the district.
Or a set of districts. Yeah.
Okay.
And
yeah.
there will be some JavaScript magic if you select districts to show a text box or whatever it is to select the multiple districts.
Okay. Yeah, if I remember correctly, we have this at some point, right? Create districts. I'll look for it. Okay. So selecting districts will open another question or category to select one or multiple districts. Okay.
Oh, this was an idea we had. I think it'll be overly complicated.
So using a map to select the districts.
Yeah, but I really don't want to implement that right now.
Okay, yeah, version 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, as I said, this is an admin tool, and they might be familiar with the districts and district
That's a
numbers.
really good point. Yeah, they know a little bit more than the average bear.
Yeah, so maybe this is not even necessary, and of course, it's a bit more to work on.
Yeah, you can just delete that if you want to.
I mean, that's fine.
Okay.
I would say version 2.
There we go.
Because maybe at some point, it's necessary.
Yeah.
I guess you will talk to the admin users and find out if it works like intended, or if there is the need to improve something. And maybe you can just use it when they're complaining about the text input.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess this is straightforward at this point. So I will switch over to representative. And then you can tell me a bit more about this one.
So every member of the United States Congress, they have a name, and we have a photo for them, and a short text biography, very short, and then they all have offices, and they have an office in Washington, D.C., the capital, but they also have an office back home, and often they have more than one office back home. So if their area covers multiple cities, then they'll have an office in each city. So each office has a phone number, and then we have requests for each representative, and um, um, we want them to sponsor a law or to vote for a law, or we want them to join a group or make a statement or whatever. And so these are the requests, and they change, but they don't change very frequently. So talking points change a lot more frequently than the requests do.
Okay. Okay, I see. So the location consists of a name of the location and the phone number, and the
That's
request
right.
is
That's
just
right.
a small bunch of text, not much.
Yeah, it's 2 fields. It's a name of the location and the phone number.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I mean, the name is clear, image should be easy to understand. Also, the offices is, well then, I guess this could also be, well, you should ask yourself what happened if you click on the plus button. Opens this just a model, or is it an inline editing possibility?
Could be anything. It's not something that I gave a lot of thought. I guess probably inline, because that's how I have it defined for requests.
Yeah, I would also use inline because this is just text and a phone number. It's not that you don't need really much space to input this information.
Yeah.
Okay, with the request, there is this suggested request. Is it while typing, or how does this work?
It's a tooltip with that info button.
Mm-hmm.
And we wanted to provide ideas.
Okay, so in this case, I have clicked on the plus button. This is a text input that opens up, and there this is this information. Okay, I see. What I would suggest, if you are in this adding step, not show the plus button, but rather go for like oh no. Oh, I'm sorry. I would say I'll report this bug. So we are back. We can add kind of this floppy disk, or also use 2 buttons. Like if you are wanting to adding something and then maybe you decide, no, that's not what I want to do. You can go for cancel or save it. So I can maybe not the best thing to do. Maybe just transform it to button and have it call save. Maybe it's also not necessary to really put text into the button, but I would always recommend using text and an icon, not just one.
Okay.
Because it's just easier to understand. But in this case, we don't have that much space, so maybe it's also sufficient to just use the disk symbol. Okay. And then you have like the representative, you can save that, and you can save like this requests. Maybe this could be irritating. I guess we should check in the final layout if this is, if it's understandable that this is just related to this request.
Well, what I can do is the bottom save button will be disabled if anything is in an editing state.
Yeah, that could be an option, or maybe you can also work with just trying something. Oh no, what happens? So. Oh,
Oh, but you're putting a background or a border around
yeah,
it.
exactly. If it works at some point. Ah. Okay. I guess you know what I want to achieve. So now it should be no. No, won't work. But maybe it's just the color that was wrong. But maybe just as a note.
Yep.
That could also be an option.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, fine. I like this suggested requests approach. I mean, I don't know how you put something new in it, but I guess it's a good point that the people know what you request from the representative that you would like to request. So maybe we just switch to the next wireframe, keeping the time in mind. Okay, this is your own account.
Yeah.
Okay.
And to be honest, I didn't put much effort into this, as you can see, because it's not core to the functionality, although it is absolutely required.
Yeah.
But basically, any person has an email, they have a password, they can change the password, and they are allowed to edit the script for the districts that are listed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. See that. If you're talking about the password, it's just. I mean, it's easy for the user to just update the password, but there's not much time put into right now. So, old password, new password, just to make the right one.
Yeah.
But I like the idea that you are able to request permission to another district, and this would be the screen, right? Yeah.
Looks like I may have. Oh, I see what that is. So I've just shown you the request as well as the confirmation on one page.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe you can also add a bit more information what happens if you click request. And now you just know it if you've already done it, but if you would like to know what happens next.
Yeah. Yeah, good point.
Maybe just something like that. I don't
Yep.
know. So, yeah, but I like the idea. Here you need something like close.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you also need this here. So you're able to cancel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then we'll move to all districts. This is the view of the super admin, right?
I think anybody can see this actually.
Okay.
And the reason why is maybe I'm working 25 and I need to know who is working 24 so that I
Okay.
can send them a message.
I see. There are not too much districts, so we don't need a filter or search functionality here.
There are 400.
Okay.
So it's I think a pagination would be good. I don't want to build a filter on it.
Okay. So if you're really looking for just one district, like if you said I'm working on 25 and I need 24, maybe you can add the functionality to the table to just enter a number and search within the column.
The main thing here is like it's not going to be used very much, and I don't want to spend very much time building it. So the way, so creative solutions like that would be great.
Yeah. I will just add a comment. Maybe when you are really developing it, you find some kind of framework that does that for you. But
yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think it's a great suggestion.
okay. So, and you can also add a new district. This is the representative for the district.
Yep.
We talked about. Yeah. Okay. So this should be pretty straightforward. Maybe we can add a comment here.
Yeah, and actually, I'm realizing now that we used two words for the same thing. We used representative once and we used district another time. So
yeah,
being consistent there. Yeah.
Okay. Let's just check again. We talked about the login. The previous session, we talked about the register optionality or option, and also what happens after the registration. We talked about the initial view if you log in with the stats. We talked about the navigation, also the possibility to select a state on the menu and also in the header maybe. We talked about this one as well. We talked about these reports. We talked about the callers and what was more important, the call in. No, we didn't talk about the call in schedule, right?
Yeah, because it's not very important.
Okay. Then when having a look at the time, we might skip it for now. The call-in scripts are, I guess, important and also complicated.
Yeah, that's really, you helped me so much with that, and that's the most important part.
Awesome, thanks.
The script and the talking points library.
Yeah, and that's where we started this time. We have 10 minutes. Can I help you with something else? Should we talk about something?
Well, I really appreciate that, but I feel really good about what we've done together, and you've helped immensely. So thank you very much.
Great, you're welcome. Really make a lot of fun.
Good.
Me as well.